Good morning warriors, it's Hannah here and welcome back to another video. Today I thought I'd take a moment to have some breakfast with you all and answer a question that I got a few days ago, which I think is a very important one and which comes up a lot. Anyway, what have I got for breakfast? In this bowl right here I have got some raspberries, about half to 2/3 of a banana, flax seeds, so important, particularly on a vegan diet, yogurt, some almond milk, and these amazing clusters of granola. I came up with this new buckwheat groats granola recipe last weekend, and I think this is the only granola I'll ever eat for the rest of my life. It is so good. Anyway, the Fear Food challenge that I picked out of the jar this morning was granola, so I'll be leaving the recipe to this in the description below. It is bomb. If homemade granola is easier for you than buying some from the store, maybe follow a stepwise approach and start with this recipe, then find one in the store. Build your way up to your biggest fear. Second thing I've got for breakfast is this lovely Nutella and remainder of the banana toast. Because I don't have a toaster, I put it in my new Yoyami air fryer. And guys, I just want to take a moment of appreciation for this thing because I've been putting everything in there. Potatoes, mock meats, tofu, crisps up so nicely, veg, etc, etc. And even toast. It's super easy to use, very, straightforward to use. It cleans easy, works well, has a lot of capacity. I am happy. The one thing that may be a drawback is that it's very noisy, but I don't know, I find it quite comforting. I don't think it's louder than my laptop when I'm trying to export 4K videos. So anyway, that is it for my ramble. Let's get to that question. And yeah, as per usual, this is not medical advice. This is just observations from my own experiences, my clients' experiences. If you want an in-depth, personalized response, then work with me one-on-one. When I'm craving things 24/7, should I really just go and eat? Isn't it weird to be eating the whole day? Will the cravings really stop someday, or will I keep wanting to eat, even when weight restored? And will I become fat? And when I am hungry and craving sweets but know that they won't fill me up, should I go for a healthier option or listen to the cravings? For example, I want cookies and milk for dinner, but that wouldn't be enough, so should I eat a sandwich instead? Thank you so much, and sorry for bothering you again. Part 2. I just feel like I'm craving sweets 24/7, and I don't want to end up addicted. Because I read online that when you eat something sweet, your blood sugar goes up, making you want to eat more and more sugar, and you end up eating dozens of donuts. I feel like that's my case. Isn't that binge eating disorder developing? Right, there's a lot of questions in there, and I'm going to go through them one by one. So first question in there is, when I'm craving things 24/7, should I go eat? Response, yes. This teaches your body that you listen to its cravings and it's safe, and makes sense to start sending more reliable cues. If you're craving things, these cravings are there for a reason, and you can't just expect to have your body trust you again if you're not gonna, in return, trust its cues. They are there for a reason, I promise. Next part of the question, isn't it weird to be eating the whole day? Well, let me ask you, is it weird to be going to the toilet throughout the day? Is it weird to be sleeping every day? Is it weird to be hydrating throughout the day? No? Then why would you question this particular bodily cue? Your hunger too is just a bodily cue. Questioning your need to go pee isn't going to actually change that urge to pee. That urge to pee is going to stay and get stronger and stronger until eventually disaster. So yeah, like letting that urge to pee build up, letting that hunger build up over time, and that starvation build over time it builds a massive deficit in the body. So yes, these cravings are normal. Yes, you can listen to these cravings. No, there's nothing wrong with you and there's no need to question them. The next part to the same question was, will the cravings really stop someday? Well, when you go to the toilet, does that urge to pee go? I suppose that unless you have a UTI, that urge to pee goes. So yes, that urge to eat does also pass if you give in to those cravings and give in to that hunger. Unless, of course, there is another medical reason for it. And yes, the eating disorder, that's one reason why that urge might not go immediately. But the eating disorder is, no matter how it may seem right now, temporary. You can overcome the eating disorder, it will pass, and once it does, if you listen to your hunger, it passes, it changes. It won't stay like that forever. When I'm craving sweets, should I go for something healthier instead? Again, on the same analogy, don't know what's wrong with me this morning, but if you need to pee and you go and distract yourself instead and you watch some TV, you'll still need to pee. If you are hungry for cookies and you have a sandwich instead, chances are you may feel satiated, but not satisfied. You'll still want those cookies either now or in future. So in the end, you may eat more than you wanted to initially. You may feel uncomfortable. You may feel guilty for having the sandwich and the cookies. Just have the damn cookies. Don't try to outsmart your body. As I said, those cues are there for a reason. Your body knows what it needs and wants, and particularly if you're craving high fat, high sugar, high calorie foods, after restriction, I don't think that's so abnormal. I feel really awkward for chewing, like solid few minutes between every question, because I did put a lot of Nutella on that. But, I'll probably cut out those bits, but if you haven't yet, grab yourself breakfast, or lunch, or dinner, or a snack. Eat with me, that's what we're here for. And give this video a thumbs up if you haven't yet, if you like this content, or let me know if you have any other questions. On the same question pretty much, when I'm craving sweets, should I go for something healthier? If I want cookies and milk for dinner, should I eat a sandwich? Obviously, eating cookies and milk for dinner isn't the healthiest thing if you do it all day, every day. But my opinion, and this, I don't want to generalize, everyone is different. If you want a personalized response, work with me. But on the whole, you can't treat restriction with more restriction, whether mental or physical, or setting yourself any kind of limits or rules. So yes, if you want the cookies and milk, I would say have the cookies and milk. Chances are your body's not going to crave this for the rest of your life. It really is okay. So yeah, eat those cookies for dinner. Eat them until you've had enough. Maybe over time you'll want to pass a dish with cookies for dessert. Or maybe you start out by having the sandwiches and the cookies rather than the cookies on their own. Maybe eventually you'll come to a point where you just want the pasta and don't really fancy dessert anymore. These scenarios are all fine, and just having pasta without the cookies, it shouldn't be a goal, but it's an eventuality, it is a possibility. The goal should just be to listen to your body, regardless of what it is asking you. That way you'll be okay, whatever happens in the end. And it seems a bit odd for me to be recommending people to have cookies for dinner. I honestly don't want anyone to get unhealthy. But remember that the unhealthiest thing to do is to give in and maintain the eating disorder. The one certainty is that the eating disorder wants you dead. So the one certainty in seeking a healthy life is that the best thing you can do is beat the hell out of the eating disorder. So that's what I want you to do. And if that means eating cookies right now, eat those damn cookies right now. During my recovery, I went through phases of eating loads of sweets, and I was absolutely terrified I'd get addicted to them. In fact, by ignoring them, I developed a mental addiction. I was obsessed. But when I finally learned to listen to those cravings, yeah, initially I still craved it a lot, but over time, not anymore. Those cravings passed. I started fancying salads and pasta bowls and potato dishes and more stereotypically healthy things without consciously making that change. Restriction is what causes these cravings in the first place. So restriction isn't what's going to help these cravings go away. So yeah, if you decide to ignore the cravings and have a sandwich instead, the only certainty is that that craving definitely isn't going to pass. It hasn't been satisfied. It will grow. So yeah, as I said, for your specific circumstances, your specific action plan, I'll leave a link to one-to-one coaching. Last big question in this big multiple question is my anorexia turning into binge eating disorder? And I hear this question all the time. So let me tell you that the biggest risk for binge eating is in fact restriction. So by trying to control the risk for binge eating, by restricting, by setting yourself rules, you're not making the situation any better. It is only by letting go of that sense of control, a compulsive control, which isn't even real control, that you're able to fight against that binge eating urge and truly embrace food freedom and intuitive eating. And yes, as I said initially, that may swing you along that pendulum. You may overeat. You may eat just sweets. You may do all the things that currently you fear. But this isn't a forever thing. It's your body's response to restriction, your body's response to starvation, your body's response to a massive deficit. And personally, I wouldn't even call that binging. Sure, it may feel out of control. Sure, it may be pretty big quantities of food. But it's just your body doing what it's meant to do, protecting you, trying to save you. It's a normal survival response. There's nothing crazy or weird or different or off about you. Research indicates that all humans hold a biological mechanism that, if undisturbed by disordered eating behaviors, will direct them to eat in a way that supports good nutrition and a healthy weight. Intuitive eating is about reconnecting with this biological mechanism. Research also indicates that intuitive eating strategies and skills can be relearned, even when they've been blocked by restriction or overeating. And that's why in my one-to-one coaching, I spend so damn much time on cognitive behavioral techniques, on reframing automatic thoughts, on rewiring automatic beliefs, because these thoughts, these beliefs, they can all be relearned. Think of them more as a habit. You, no matter how hard it is, can change your habits. Even those with eating disorders shouting at you. So stop telling yourself that you cannot eat this much or you cannot eat this food, and instead tell yourself, I'm thinking I cannot eat this. Even just this tiny reframe tells yourself that it's a mindset thing and it's something that you actually can do if you want to. It's just your thoughts telling you that you can't. But you don't always have to listen to your thoughts. Over time, letting go of some of these black and white mindsets, it does become easier. It does turn into a new habitual way of thinking. Even if right now you may have to be very intentional about it. You may have to eat your 3 meals, 3 snacks, stick to certain minimums, even follow a meal plan. It gets easier, I promise. New habits form. Mindsets shift. And my toast has gone soggy from chatting. So remember that your body is not out to harm you in any way. It's out to help you, and remember that things get better. If you need help, there is help. You're not in this alone. Yes, you may binge eat in recovery. It's not real binge eating. It's natural, it's normal, you're not alone, it passes. And go and get yourself an air fryer, it's amazing. Go and make yourself this granola, it's amazing. I love you all lots. See you soon. Oh, and on the topic of air fryers, I also really like them because when I'm home alone, if I just want to have a small batch of something baked without turning the whole oven on, if I just want something quick, I can literally throw things in there, put it on a 5 or 10 minute timer, and I'm sorted. I don't need to think about any complicated recipes. I have no excuses to have a half-assed meal. No excuses.